Hey, good morning. Okay, today we are going to take our Bellame makeup and our Seint makeup and we are going to merge the two together to be like the perfect marriage. Okay, so I do have my entire skincare routine on my face before I even sit down. This is something new I just started doing about 3 months ago. I switched over to the clinical skincare line with Bellame and I could not be happier with how my face feels, looks. Like, it's so smooth. I can feel the tightening. You can almost just see it. And I sit down, so I do all of that. Like, I blow dry my hair a little bit and I get ready. And then I sit down here while the rest of my hair is air drying and we're ready to go ahead and put our makeup on. So I wanted to let you know you should let that sit for like a little bit of time. Maybe go feed the dog or something like that. My very first step, I am going to use Bellame's 4-in-1 Hydrating Mist. You can use either. I do like Seint's as well. I do really love the fine mist that comes out of Bellame's. I've been using this more and more. I use it no matter which brand of makeup I'm using. I do like it because it also has skincare in it. So I feel like it's just helping. Everything with Bellame has the skincare in it. So I just feel like the more stuff I can use on that end, the better my face is feeling and looking all the way around. Okay, so either way, whichever one you're using, I do prefer to use the sponge when I am applying it. You can do it directly to the face, especially with the Bellame's Hydrating Mist because it is a mist. You can kind of see, you can put it right on your face. Seint's kind of comes out a little bit strong. But either way, this is still my preferred method of applying. This sponge right here is from Seint. This is the travel one, so you can see it is not travel in size at all. The travel one is black, which I love, and it comes with a cute carrying case, which I also love. And that way you can go ahead and let this air dry. You can hang it off the back of your bag or whatever, like your little makeup bag. And then that way it air dries and it doesn't get all yucky inside of your bag. So that little travel bag is just like awesome. And right now, in my vanity, you can see I have like all my little hair clips and whatever in there, which is just great. So I love upcycling and using anything I can for storage. So that's just an extra one that I have. Okay, so I'm just going over my entire face. I'm focusing on my eyes, my nose, and around my mouth. Those are the areas that are going to either cake with more makeup. I need to have it last a little bit better. Obviously, your mouth, you're eating, you're drinking, your nose, obviously, and around your eyes. So like the 3 obvious areas. Okay, so here we go. We are going to use a Bellame base, and we're going to use Seint Extras today. So I do like to go ahead and conceal underneath my eyes. I want you to kind of notice, anybody that has been watching me apply my makeup for quite some time, underneath my eyes is dark. I am really noticing, I am in month 3 of switching over to the skincare. I am noticing the underneath of my eyes are really starting to change. I can tell because I'm using less makeup to conceal, and that is pretty darn exciting. I am using Bellame's concealer. I do notice that there is a bigger difference when I use this underneath my eyes. I can use this no matter what, even if I am using Seint products. Okay, so this is really great because this also has caffeine in it. And I'm just kind of, you can see, I'm just kind of touching all the way around. I applied it directly with the wand. The nice part is this, I think, is helping. It said when I first got it that over time you will notice by switching over to this concealer underneath your eye that your under eye darkness will start to dissipate. And I wasn't so sure, right? There's also caffeine in it. So I was like, well, who can't use caffeine underneath your eyes? I can really tell because I do have, and I always have since I was a little girl, baggier underneath my eyes. So I kind of combat this darkness, which kind of like slowly creeps in as you're getting older. And then I have like this puffiness. Well, I'm noticing this little puffiness is going away. Slow, but I don't care, right? So as time goes on, all these little changes with the skincare, some of these are really subtle, right? Everybody's going to have something a little bit different. I almost look like an Incredible right now. Somebody is going to have something that like I noticed the eye cream underneath my eyes instantly, and that is definitely helping. That is inside the entire collection. And then I'm noticing these little things as I'm like 3 months in. Like I've been feeling my face tight the entire time. now I can like feel it tight, like all the time. And it's just so exciting to see these things happen. Okay, I am using Seint's blend brush here, and I'm coming in and I'm just going to kind of smooth that out. I did apply it with my finger. I did use like a little tiny bit amount, and I did also put it on the top of my eye, just because of the top of my eye. And you can see I'm blending that in. So this is just applying with your finger, and this is going ahead and using a brush. So anybody that comes back and they're like, I feel like my makeup is too thick, there are questions that I'm going to ask you. Are you blending it out with a brush? And are you coming back with your sponge and setting it before you continue? As you can see, by doing both of those things, there is a huge difference in how much makeup is on my face. So I say this to you and I show this to you because when you're brand new and you're just getting everything, it can kind of seem a little bit overwhelming, right? You're like getting all this stuff, or if you're switching over to the creams or whatever you're switching over to, it can kind of be a lot. Like all of a sudden you're like, whoa, there's so many things coming at you. But I promise the things that I share are all helpful. But I want you to know why. And I also want you to know that I didn't just jump on here and get everything all at once. I couldn't afford that. If you can afford it, I'm so jealous. At the time, I wasn't able to do that. So for me, I just had to kind of slowly piece my stuff together. And that's how I just created like a crazy wish list until I got all the things. So just know that some of these things I had to add in over time. Okay, so to go back to this, you can tell huge difference underneath my eyes, right? So it's kind of crazy. I use this really dark color. So for anybody that is wondering, this is number 7 concealer with Bellame. So right now, none of the makeup is available. They're coming out with some new stuff. You guys, there's more skincare. There's more goodies inside of the skincare that's coming, and I could not be more excited. The bottle is gorgeous. The product is going to be top notch. We keep seeing teasers. It's just so good. But the numbers are all going to be the same. There's going to be some more numbers added, but these numbers that you're seeing are all going to be the same. So it's so exciting. So that's why I keep sharing these with you. So if you haven't switched over, or maybe you got some of the free products over the last month or two when they were giving those away, that way you know if you're coming in and you're like, wait, I didn't get the right concealer, you know, because you got those free, you picked whatever you could. Now you can come back and go ahead and do more. Okay, I'm going to use Bellame's main foundation. I will tell you, the more I use this, the more obsessed I become. I do like to apply it on my hand, which is kind of weird, and I do like to apply it with their brush. This is actually their blush brush, but believe it or not, I love to apply my main makeup with it. So I do kind of tap it all over. If you saw the video yesterday where I did all Bellame, this is just kind of my preferred way of applying it. When I put it directly on the brush, I feel like my first couple of taps get more makeup. But again, you can also do that. You do not need to use the back of your hand. That's just like old school, how we used to apply our makeup back in like dancing days and for competitions and stuff like that. That was just like so normal to do. So anyway, I'm just going to come through and I'm just slowly sort of like pouncing it in. I will tell you, the fact that this makeup has skincare in it is appealing to put this on my face. It has maybe more coverage than Seint's creams, but it feels lighter. And it's foundation, which is wild to me. There's no crazy smell to it. Also wild to me because foundation stinks, right? So it's not loaded with all the chemicals, which is really, really nice. Again, such a tease because it's not even available right now, but I do want to show you because I know a ton of people, they have this makeup, they got this makeup in because you got it for free and you're like, all right, you need to start using it, Brooke. And so I hear you. I'm here. So I've been playing around and basically just sort of figuring out all my colors as well. And I'm like, okay, I will tell you, when you start to wear it more and more, your skin like adapts to it, which is kind of crazy. So it just starts to become like better and better. Okay, so I want you to see, again, here is my makeup. And when I look in my mirror, when I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, oh, this is a little too makeup-y for me. And that's why I set it every layer and as I go. So you can wait and just do the entire thing at the end, or you can do what I'm doing. So again, there's no wrong way. So there we go. I'm just going to go ahead and you can see it just kind of like tones the entire thing down, right? Okay, so we're going to be mixing and matching. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use Seint's highlights. I'm going to come in with that blend brush. If you've been watching me this whole time, you will know the blend brush is my preferred method for around my eyes. It is just really soft. It's really light and fluffy. It's really soft. As underneath your eye area gets older, it's really important. But no matter how old you are, underneath your eye area is sensitive. And I think like you don't hear that enough when you're a kid. You just slam things on and you rub your eyes and you're like, whatever, I don't really care. So no matter what age you are in here, you should be very gentle underneath your eye. And this is like the perfect brush for that. So I'm just coming in and I'm going underneath my eyes. You can see I'm dragging down my nose and coming in like this. And I'm hitting up all these spots just very, very lightly in my T-zone. So the foundation works great with all of the Bellame creams. Oh, I'm sorry. The Bellame foundation works great with all the Seint creams. Here we go. It's going to be hard to mix and match them on camera and get all the words right, but whatever. Not that anything comes out of my mouth right. I'm always goofing up. So you can see just by adding in those 2 layers, and I don't often do my highlight, as you know, second when I apply with brushes in this manner, but I want everybody to know you do not have to use the bronzer or contour or even blush if you don't want to continue. But when I look in the mirror, I feel like I'm still flushed out. Like this is not enough for me. So I want to take it up a notch, okay? You can use the Bella, right, from Seint, because the Bella bronzer is like amazing. If you do have a darker concealer, this is number 9. I cheated, guys, and as I opened them, I put all the numbers on the top because I literally cannot read that. It is so hard. I will tell you, I have been loving using these darker concealers and darker colors from Bellame, like bronzer. And so I just dot a little bit around, but I also like to use these and put Bella over the top. So again, this has skincare in it, but it's buildable. You can layer it on top and you can use it with all of your Seint stuff. So it's kind of fun. You know, is this just as quick as doing just Bellame or just Seint? No, because you're going back and forth. But if you have a couple minutes, I mean, I don't know, isn't it fun to play? Like, don't you feel sometimes where you're like, I don't know, you just have a minute to play, or you just kind of want to play, and that's just kind of how I feel. So I'm just kind of taking this and dragging this around, and you can see just a little bit of life got added into my face, and you can see how it goes. So don't be afraid of just doing something as simple as that. Now, if you're using Seint, you probably have Bella. You probably have this big fat brush right here. This is the blush and bronzer brush, and it's so super great. I want you to see Bella going over the top of this color. It is a little bit darker, but the colors are same. Can you see how great they work together? So I'm coming over with my blush. I'm wearing this rust color to work today. So I'm just going to come through and apply it in some areas here. And we're just going to really kind of warm up my face. The best part is, again, buildable. This is our Seint product now. This is buildable, and we're layering everything over. All right, so there we go. So great. So just go ahead and like blend in as you go. And can you see, I just kind of like wing it. I kind of do it all over my face. You don't have to stress too much, but I really focus like here and here, because if you were to go out into the sun, that's where you're going to get the most, like, that's where the sun's going to kiss you the most. But I do sweep it across my nose, my eyelids. Speaking of my eyelids, hang on one second. I forgot to do this before I started. This is my lash therapy. This is my secret sauce right here to why my eyelashes are so long and thick. And I also use it to fill in my eyebrows. So hang on one second. Usually I do this before I jump on camera, but I forgot today. All right, so that way that can just dry while I'm doing the rest of my makeup. You guys, stuff's the bomb. Okay, contour. Yesterday I did my Bellame makeup and I used shade number 19 for my contour, which was really fun. So it's definitely a darker color. This is a foundation color, so this can be used for somebody that has a darker skin tone. I use that for my contour. Today I'm going to use, and I use the detail brush. Today I'm going to go ahead and use my Seint with this. So I'm going to be coming in with indigo, and I'm kind of dragging a little bit like that onto the edge because I want it to be a little bit thicker. I am going to go right here on the top, like almost the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth. This is the line, but I'm going right on the top of that cheekbone. And what I'm going to do is just sort of build this in. And I'm like almost pushing it up, right? So think of like a push-up bra. This is truly the bottom of my cheek, but that's like the top of that bone. I want to give my face a lift and I want my cheeks to look better. And so I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna sort of feather this out to a hook. Can you see how it's darker up here at the top and it's feathered out into like this hook? And you just kind of blend it up. When you apply it with the brush, you're going to get a more defined look than when you do the dots on the cheetah hack. So again, I'm going to pull the extra makeup and I'm going to go heavier right here on the top and fade this in and just kind of go back and forth. Contour does need a minute to warm up to your face. So I tend to just kind of like plop it on like this. And I tend to walk away and do another section and let that sucker warm up, okay? So, I just said sucker. Like I said, sometimes you just don't even know. So we're gonna go ahead and throw that on the top of our forehead. And again, we're just applying, this is the detail brush from Seint for anybody that has this brush. This is an amazing brush. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use this to gently sort of carve out my jawline here, my chin. And it's almost like painting. Can you see? You're almost like painting a shadow. Best part is that I don't really have to worry about it touching my turtleneck or anything in that manner. Okay, so I'm just kind of coming back here. You can see you start to just feather it in. I also like to take it and go straight down my nose. You're going to kind of get this perfect line. I love indigo. Don't be afraid of switching different contours too. It's so fun. I would say indigo is probably my most used. I do use Astoria. I love to use olive and ash mixed together, henna and ash mixed together. Shadow is a really great one if you have, especially if you have like gray hair. Shadow is a really nice color or more of like a lighter skin tone. I tend to switch up my contour a lot in the summer, or in the winter, I'm sorry. In the summer, I gotta go really dark. I go indigo or cola. I wanted you to see too, I definitely go back and always do like a second layer on my nose. And I do like to go ahead and use my sponge to set it so that way I don't overblend. While I've got my sponge in my hand, I'm just gonna hit up all of those extra areas and make sure that they're all sort of married together. And you can see it just makes a huge difference. And sometimes you might have to respray it because the heat's on now. Everything's getting chilly. Or at least it's chilly where I am. Winter's coming. Winter is here. They're talking about snow. All right, so there you go. You're going to go ahead and see that on there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the shape brush. I'm going to layer Frenchie and I'm going to layer sandstone. So I'm coming in right here on the ball of like the apple right here of my cheek, and that is Frenchie. I'm going to take sandstone, which is lighter. Okay, you can see these two colors together, and I'm going to almost take it and drag that right up. So I'm almost giving my cheek like an ombre effect. I'm just going to take the microfiber towel and just rub off whatever's extra, and I'm just going to marry the two together. Sometimes I take my lip and cheek and I travel it like this, right, as blush. Again, it's just like a very warm sort of a feeling and a warm vibe. Okay, I have too much on this side of my cheek and not the same amount, so I'm going to take that sponge and we're going to knock it down. And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit up the edges. Like, you can't go wrong. Let's say you knock this down too much, you come back, you just add more. The beauty of everything being buildable. It's so great. Okay, speaking of Astoria, it's my favorite for my eyes, for my eyebrows. So hang on, my eyebrows are dry now. We're going to use Seint's line brush. So great that it's like both sides in one, like so convenient, especially when you're traveling and you have everything in your go bag. And I've used a bunch of different products. I think this is just the easiest. It's really convenient that it's right here inside this palette. One hand, everything's where you need it. So I do love that. And it kind of acts a little bit like a wax, just a very natural sort of a, it's like having flexible hold hairspray, right? It's not crazy like super hold, mega Gorilla Glue powder. So, but it's just enough to kind of keep everything in place. And I just kind of fill it in. Nothing crazy, just enough. It just kind of like, I feel like it just frames out my face. Okay, I'm going to use Nova for my illuminator today. I'm going to come in and go straight down my nose just like this, focusing right on that tip and right up on the base. Again, I'm using that shape brush. You can use the blush and bronzer brush. I just really like this for a very precise application. And I also love it because you take the little tiny side and you can feather it and blend. Like, so great that you can marry these two worlds together. Okay, so this is why I do my highlight at the end, because you can see I have some spots where I want like more. So I'm coming back and I'm just gonna kind of like pounce in some areas here where I just want to brighten up my face. And this is why I usually do it. I wanted to show you, in case you do not want to use contour or bronzer. I don't want you to think just because I do, you have to. But I also wanted you to see that you can go ahead and add some more life in by adding just 2 more products. And it's so easy. I know, straight down my nose. Can you see how this just brightens it up? But here's the cool part. No matter that I already did that in the beginning, I can still come back and do it again. So if you do your makeup and you're like, this is just not bright enough for me, try this. Try this step. Come back at the very end. Brush a little bit right here. Skip that spot in the middle and go right there. It just, can you see the life it brings? No new product being added. I'm just sweeping it and making sure that it's all coated. Like, if you don't love your makeup, you need to make this switch. Is that not so great? Okay, quick. We got to hurry up here. We're going to go ahead and throw some eye makeup on. I'm going to use Cupcake. This is a base color that is just great to go ahead and put for any skin tone, any eye look that you're going to go ahead and do. I am using Seint's eyeshadow brush. Again, this is 2-sided, which is really nice. This is just the fluffy side, and I'm going all the way up to the brow. I do often also use vanilla dusting powder. You can see she's down to the tin. I use it a lot. This is a great base to go ahead and do, and I'm using it over Cupcake. A lot of the times I'll use that underneath, and it's translucent, so it'll just disappear on you. But if you have oily lids, it's great. So if you forget, like I do, go ahead and just apply it over whatever it is with your base, okay? So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dip into Sabrina, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this right here. Oh, I'm sorry. This is actually Drift. I lied to you. I'm going to take Drift here right into this inner eye. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there for an inner eye pop. And I'm doing it first today. Sometimes I do it first. Sometimes I do it last. Okay. I'm going to come into Basic. This is just a very light colored brown. And I'm going to take the little tiny side of the eyeshadow brush. I'm just going into my crease back and forth. And I'm just going to drag that down. Use the other side just to be fluffy. Blend it all together. Drag it all down. Okay, now we are going to grab crimson, you guys. This color is a shade of the month, and I want to show you guys. My sweater matches perfectly. I was so excited when I got this sweater to wear it. So I'm just going to tap a little bit on my brush and just start to gently bring this color in. I'm going to go over that basic and just drag some in so you can see more of the color on my eyelid, and just gently drag any of that down. So you can see it's very, very light today. So this is one of our Advent calendar colors, and Seint is coming out with 12 eyeshadows of the month that are limited edition. And the first one is one of the Advent calendars. So that is so exciting. So we do not know what the other 11 are, but you could slowly build your own Advent calendar with all of your favorites. So how great is that? This one is a must. I'm going to go ahead and drag that under. And I'm just blending that right in. So I'm really pulling that color on my lid. Just like that, okay? Take your fluffy side and just blend everything in. It can be very, very soft. It can also be very bold. Grab your finger and tap that baby on. Really pull that pigment out. It's so fun that you can go ahead and take your finger and really pull a more pigmented look should you want. So go safe, but then go big. Do not be afraid of adding any of that in. Okay, so we're gonna go back to one of my other go-to colors, and this is Philly. She's in my palette for a reason, you guys, because I love it. I'm gonna tap into that little tiny side, and I'm just going to deepen this outside edge right here. Okay, so I'm just coming in almost like a little circle motion or a little V, and I'm just going to drag a little bit down. Drag it into my crease, and we're just going to kind of darken that right up. So I did my eyeshadow backwards today. Instead of doing my darkest to lightest, I did my lightest to darkest, and that is okay. I'm going to just blend everything in, and then from there you're good to go. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that basic again, which is that lighter color. I'm tapping onto the fluffy side, and I'm just going to come in like this, and I'm going to tap up, and I'm just going to blend this out. I have a hooded eye, and once I put mascara on, you're not going to be able to see. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just slowly building this up like this, and almost like creating a space up here so it becomes something that looks very natural once my mascara is on. Without your mascara, you feel like you're just going too high, right? So you're just kind of coming in like this, and you're tapping and you're going. Every time I pick up a new color, I drag it underneath the outside. And you guys, that's it. I'm just going to go back into Sabrina, and I'm just going to pull a little bit of that brighter color in, just like that. And I'm just fluffing as you go. Every time I'm cleaning off my brush, just to have a quick little sweep, I do scoop up one of these cleaning tiles, and they're just so great. So that way, you're kind of taking off all the excess. It's not going to clean it like the brush cleaner spray, but it's going to go ahead and make sure that you are getting all of that excess off. And then I'm just going to make sure everything is blended together like I want it. And that's it. Just a little pop of that color today, a little bit of pop on the cheek, and that is it, which is so exciting. Go ahead, take your favorite lip gloss. You can put any lip color on that you like. This is just Aquaphor. I like to go really simple with my lip, as you guys know. And there you go. Put on your favorite mascara. You guys, you are good to go. This is definitely a color that you're going to want inside of your palette, and it screams winter, and you can still go get this at Kohl's. So I got 2 of them, and like, I'm totally in love, like totally in love. I also love to take a little bit of my illuminator. You guys know I do this, and I just go ahead and tap it on. Now, you know what else you can do? You could take that eyeshadow and you can put that on your lips too. That would be really great. Okay, so go ahead, put your favorite mascara on, you guys, and you are good to go. I'm just going to fluff up my hair a little bit. We're going to be out the door. I am loving this. Loving this. Ooh, I do want to do one more thing now. Vanilla dust with the wash brush is my favorite. You can get the powder brush. I just really like the wash brush. You can use any of them though. You can use the blend brush. You can use anything. But I do like to hit up my T-zone with this. And I like to drag it underneath like this. It just gives you an extra pop on your cheek. And I always hit up my T-zone right here, like on my forehead. All right, now we're ready to put mascara on. All right, guys, as always, reach out with any questions, but this was a perfect marriage of using Seint and Bellame together with different products. Again, I have the Bellame skincare on, the Bellame base of foundation with their concealer, and then I have used Seint's highlights, Seint's lip and cheeks, Seint's contour, and their sponge. That's what you hear is this. This is how I hold my sponge, you guys, on my vanity. Is that not super cute? So one of the girls on my team, Lauren, gave this to me for something. She sent it to me, and I just love it, and I still use it all these years later. So it's such a great thing. So Lauren, if you're watching, I'm always using your little thing. But when I pull my sponge out, it always makes that funny noise. So if you're ever watching my lives and you're like, what is that noise? That's what it is. Okay. So I'm just going back through and I'm just setting everything that I just did. Now we're done. Mascara and out the door. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.